Have you ever found yourself wide awake at 3 a.m.? Not startled, not in pain, just awake? Eyes open, ceiling above, silence all around. The kind of silence that feels less like peace and more like a question. You shift your body gently under the sheets. You glance at the clock. The numbers glow back at you. 3:01, maybe 3:17. And suddenly, you're not just awake. You're alert. Your thoughts begin to hum. Your chest tightens ever so slightly, and you can't help but wonder. Why now? Why always now? If you're a woman in your 60s or beyond, this moment may not be new. In fact, it may have become familiar, an unwelcome companion in the quietest hours of the night. But what if I told you, this isn't just some random glitch in your sleep cycle? It's not simply aging or bad luck or too much tea before bed. It's something far more meaningful. It's your body speaking to you. Gently, but persistently. A whisper threaded through your nervous system, through your breath, your heart, and your memory, pointing to something you may not have had time or space to feel during the day. Because at Wise Elders Legacy, we don't believe every 3 a.m. wake-up is a problem to fix. Sometimes it's an invitation, a small doorway into clarity, self-care, or forgotten emotion. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it's exhausting when you have to be up early. But it can also be something else. Something sacred. A signal. A reminder. That even in this phase of life, your inner self still has something to say. This video is not about hacks, pills, or sleep tricks. It's not just about getting back to sleep. It's about reframing what those early morning hours can mean. It's about gently uncovering the wisdom hidden inside them. It's about slowing down enough to ask the deeper question. What is my body trying to show me that I've been too busy or too tired to see? Together, we're going to explore 5 deeply human, deeply helpful strategies that can transform your 3 a.m. restlessness into a time of quiet reconnection. We'll walk through calming rituals, emotional insights, physical resets, and soft shifts in perspective. Each one designed for women like you, women who carry a lifetime of stories, strength, and wisdom in their bodies. And there's one part, step 4, that many people miss. It's simple. It doesn't require any tools, apps, or routines, but it could very well be the missing piece you've been searching for. The moment that turns your tossing into tenderness, your worry into rest. So I invite you, stay with me, not because I promise instant sleep, but because maybe, just maybe, this moment, right now, is about more than sleep. Maybe it's about breath. Maybe it's about feeling something you've set aside for too long. Maybe it's about coming home to yourself, softly, quietly, without guilt and without judgment. When the house is dark and the world is still, you are not alone. You are simply being asked to listen, and I promise, what you hear might change everything. Let's begin. Let's begin with the first, and perhaps most misunderstood, strategy. Stop trying to force yourself back to sleep. I know. That sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? You wake up at 3:17 a.m. You glance at the clock, squinting through the red or blue glow, and your first thought is something like, if I fall asleep right now, I can still get 3 hours. Wait, 2.5. Oh no, it's down to 1. And just like that, your mind starts racing. Your heart picks up speed. The tension begins to build behind your eyes. You've been here before, and you already know how the rest of the story goes. Here's the truth. The more you try to will yourself to sleep, the more it slips away. It's like trying to hold water in your hand. The tighter you grip, the faster it leaks out. Forcing sleep is not rest. It's resistance, and resistance creates stress. What happens next? Cortisol, your body's stress hormone, floods your system like an unwanted alarm clock. It whispers, we're awake now, deal with it. And suddenly, instead of floating gently back into rest, you're wired, alert, stuck. But it doesn't have to be this way. There's a softer path, a way to gently guide your body back toward rest, without pressure. Start by doing something surprisingly simple. Sit up, gently. Don't throw off the covers or flip on the lights, just shift positions. This small act signals to your brain, I'm not trapped here, I'm choosing what comes next. Now breathe, not fast, not shallow, but slow, deep, intentional. Inhale through your nose for a count of 4. Hold it for just a beat. And exhale softly through your mouth for a count of 6. Repeat this 3, 4, maybe 5 times. Let each breath feel like a quiet invitation to your nervous system. Come back down. You're safe now. This kind of breathing does something beautiful behind the scenes. It turns on your parasympathetic nervous system. What doctors call the rest and digest mode. It quiets the adrenaline. It slows your heart rate. It reminds your body what peace feels like. But don't stop there. This is also the perfect time to do a gentle self-scan of your environment. What woke you? Is your pillow flat and lifeless from years of use? Are your sheets twisted tight around your legs like ivy? Is the room too warm or too cold? You'd be amazed how often small physical discomforts steal us from sleep without our even noticing. Adjust your bedding, fluff the pillow, stretch your legs out, fix the thermostat. Science tells us the sweet spot is somewhere between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit for optimal sleep. Maybe even sip a little water. Just a small amount, because sometimes the body wakes up simply asking for moisture, and we mistake that for anxiety or restlessness. Now here's a perspective shift you might not expect. What if waking up at 3 a.m. isn't just a problem, but an invitation? Think of some of the most creative minds in history, Leonardo da Vinci, Nikola Tesla. They didn't resist these quiet hours. They welcomed them. They used the silence before sunrise to dream up their greatest ideas. You don't need to be an inventor, but maybe, just maybe, your own mind is trying to give you something in these moments. A message, a memory, a solution you couldn't see in daylight. That's why I keep a simple notebook by my bed. No pressure, no journaling goals, just a space to jot down anything. A thought, a feeling, a to-do, even a grocery list. It's not about productivity. It's about release. And if writing isn't your thing, try this. Close your eyes and picture something soft. Waves rolling in, a quiet forest, a sunrise over a lake. Whatever feels calming, simple, and peaceful. Or stretch. Yes. Gently stretch your arms overhead. Roll your shoulders. Feel your spine lengthen. You're not doing this to fall back asleep. You're doing it to be present, to let your body know that it's not trapped in panic. That this moment, though quiet and strange, is not a threat. And in that release, something shifts. The tension starts to soften. The breath deepens. And often, without even realizing it, you drift off again, this time without chasing it. Because here's the secret no one tells you. Sleep is not something you conquer. It's something you allow. So next time the clock glows 3 a.m., don't fight it. Don't panic. Just breathe, adjust, and explore what that quiet hour might be trying to offer you. It might not be the enemy, unless you make it one. Sometimes it's not stress. It's not your thoughts. It's not the temperature of the room or the weight of your emotions. Sometimes it's just thirst. I know, it sounds almost too simple. But if you've ever woken up at 3:47 a.m. with a dry mouth, a strange heat in your chest, or restless legs that seem to twitch without reason, you might be facing a quiet culprit that rarely gets enough credit. Dehydration. You see, while we sleep, our bodies continue to lose water, through breath, through skin, through tiny unnoticed exhalations that carry moisture out into the cool night air. And as hours pass, our cells begin to whisper a subtle request. Please. Just a little more. But here's the thing. When you wake up feeling parched and foggy, most people reach for the nearest thing. A big glass of cold water straight from the fridge. It makes sense. Cold feels refreshing. But in the middle of the night, it's more jarring than helpful. Imagine pouring ice water into a warm teacup. It cracks. It resists. Your body's the same. Cold water wakes up your stomach, triggers your digestive system, and sends alert signals to your brain. Just when you're trying to drift back into peace. Instead, try this. Keep a small bottle of room temperature water on your nightstand. Or better yet, warm water in a thermos, gently heated before bed. No need for anything fancy. Just enough to sip, not gulp. And if you want to level it up, add a pinch of high-quality sea salt, not table salt. not iodized crystals, but just a few grains of Celtic or Himalayan salt, rich in trace minerals your body craves after hours of repair and dreaming. Why does this matter? Because your body isn't just losing water, it's losing electrolytes, the tiny messengers that help your muscles relax, your nerves fire properly, and your heart beat steady through the night. That vague, wired but tired feeling you sometimes wake up with, it could be your nervous system quietly misfiring, simply because it's running low on magnesium, potassium, or sodium. A few sips of lightly salted water can help restore balance, soothe muscle tension, and ease your body back into the rhythm it was craving all along. Not a fan of salt? A squeeze of lemon juice works beautifully too. It adds gentle potassium, supports digestion, and gives your body something familiar and soothing. Think of it as a warm, citrusy hug, subtle but comforting. And if your wake-up comes with a side of anxiety, your brain racing, your chest tight, your thoughts picking at old worries, there's one more quiet hero I'd like to introduce. You too, chamomile tea. Yes, it's classic. Yes, it sounds simple. But don't let that fool you. Chamomile contains apigenin, a natural compound that binds to brain receptors and encourages calm. It's like a soft voice whispering, "You're safe now, let go." Brew a mild cup before bed. Let it sit in a thermos beside your nightstand, so that if the 4 a.m. restlessness returns, you're ready, not with panic, but with presence. A few slow sips, a warm cup in your hands, and suddenly, your mind has something soft to focus on. The racing begins to fade, your breath deepens, and before you know it, the veil of sleep begins to descend once more. But here's what's really beautiful about this ritual. It's not just about hydration. It's about creating a pause, a moment where you respond to your body with kindness rather than urgency, where you say, "I hear you, I'll care for you." Because dehydration doesn't just dry out your throat. It quietly disrupts your sleep cycles, raises your heart rate, affects temperature regulation, and even messes with mood and memory. It's subtle, but powerful, and it often goes ignored. So let's change that. Let's make hydration a small, sacred act, one that doesn't just quench thirst, but nourishes peace. Next time you wake up, take a moment. Notice. Are you dry, uneasy, overheated? Instead of tossing and turning or reaching for your phone, reach for a small sip of warm water. Add a pinch of sea salt or a drop of lemon, or cradle a cup of chamomile and let it carry you gently back to where you were. This isn't about guzzling or drowning the problem. It's about tending to the quiet needs, topping off the engine, giving the body just enough to keep humming through the rest of the night. Because sometimes the difference between another hour of restlessness and returning to dreamland is just one mindful sip away. You wake up at 4:12 a.m., not with a start, not from a sound, but with a strange heaviness pressing gently on your chest. Your body feels still, but your mind is humming, quietly, insistently. Maybe it's a vague sense of sadness. Maybe it's the ghost of a conversation you wish you'd handled differently. Maybe it's nothing you can name, but it's there. Here's something most people never consider. Your emotions might be the ones waking you. That uneasy feeling, that silent ache, it might not be coincidence. It might be a message from somewhere deep inside you, rising up in the only quiet space it can find, the hours before dawn, when the world is finally still enough to hear it. In traditional Chinese medicine, there's a belief that each organ in the body has a specific time of day when it's most active, and between 3 and 5 a.m., that organ is the lungs. But in TCM, lungs aren't just for breathing. They're the home of grief, of sadness, loss, letting go. So if you wake during this window with a strange emotional fog, a tightness in your chest, or tears that surprise you, it might be your body's way of asking, is there something you haven't allowed yourself to feel? Even modern science, though it doesn't speak in terms of organs and energy, backs this up. Studies show that stress, anxiety, and emotional overload can significantly disrupt sleep, especially during the early morning hours. Because at night, when the distractions fade and the lights go out, our minds begin sorting through the clutter of the day. And the feelings we pushed aside while staying strong or keeping busy, they return. Not to punish us, but to be heard. So what do you do when you wake up carrying an emotional weight? You don't fight it. You don't stuff it back down. You listen. Sit up gently. Lean against your pillows. And ask yourself, without judgment, what am I feeling right now? Not what you should feel, not what you want to feel, but what's honestly rising to the surface. It might be something simple. I'm overwhelmed. I miss someone. I'm afraid of what tomorrow holds. Or it might be something vague, just a fog, a sense that something's not quite settled. Whatever it is, name it. And if you keep a journal beside your bed, remember the one we mentioned earlier? This is the time to use it. Write down 3 things. Anything. They don't have to be deep or poetic. It could be, I'm mad at how yesterday ended. I miss my daughter. I don't know why I feel like crying, but I do. No pressure to solve. No need to fix. Just release. Because once those swirling thoughts and emotions leave your mind and land on paper, they become less overwhelming. They become something you can see, rather than something that controls you. And after that, breathe. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 counts. Hold gently. Exhale through your mouth for 6 counts. As you breathe, you can even whisper to yourself, softly, like a prayer. I release this. For now. Not forever. Not in denial. Just for now. So that your nervous system can rest. So that your spirit can exhale. Because here's something powerful. Letting go is not about forgetting. It's about giving yourself permission to pause the pain. To say, I will return to this when I'm stronger. But for now, I choose peace. And the science supports this too. Journaling has been shown to significantly reduce anxiety, especially when done at night. One study from the University of Rochester found that even 15 minutes of expressive writing before bed can help calm the mind and improve sleep over time. It's not about being eloquent. It's about being honest and offering your mind a safe place to set things down. Pair that with breathing, and you're doing something beautiful. You're telling your body, you are not in danger. You are safe. You are heard. And that sometimes is all it takes. Because the next time the clock glows 3:56 a.m. and your heart feels too full, you'll remember, you don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to shove it away. You can meet your emotions like old friends, gently, kindly, and then let them pass through you like waves that were never meant to stay. This is not weakness. It is wisdom. The kind that comes not from control, but from compassion. So when your next wake-up feels heavy and unfamiliar, don't ask, what's wrong with me? Instead, ask, what wants to be seen? And in that question, you may find the peace you were looking for all along. You're awake again. 4:23 a.m. The room is still, but inside your body, it's anything but. You've been lying there, flipping from side to side, the sheets now twisted around your legs like ivy on an old fence. Your pillow feels like it's fighting you. Your neck aches. Your legs twitch. And with every passing minute, frustration builds like a storm cloud behind your eyes. The temptation is strong. If I just stay still, maybe I'll drift off. But here's what your body is really saying. I need a reset. Not a workout. Not a burst of energy. Just a gentle nudge. A movement. A signal that says, we're okay. Let's begin again. Because sometimes, after 15 or 20 minutes of lying in that restless state, your nervous system gets caught in a strange loop. Not quite awake, not quite relaxed, just buzzing, just stuck. The solution? Don't stay frozen. Move. Softly. Start by sitting up. Slowly. And without drama. Don't flick on the lights or reach for your phone. Just bring yourself upright. Lean against your headboard. Or let your legs hang off the side of the bed if that feels right. Now bring your attention to your neck. It's probably tense from hours of awkward angles and tossed pillows. Let your chin fall gently toward your chest. Then slowly roll your head to the right, then the left, like you're saying yes to peace and no to pressure. Let the motion be slow, fluid, deliberate. Feel that? That slight melt of tension? That's your body saying thank you. Now, move to your shoulders, those hard-working guardians that hold so much of your daily weight. Lift them toward your ears as if you were trying to touch the sky. Then release them on a long, soft exhale. Do this 2, maybe 3 times. Let every drop be a sigh of relief your body has been waiting for. Then, if it feels okay, scoot to the edge of your bed. No need to stand. Just sit tall and gently fold forward, letting your hands slide toward your knees, your ankles, or even the floor, whatever feels natural. Don't force anything. Don't stretch for the sake of stretching. This is not yoga. It's a quiet surrender. A soft bow to the fact that even in the night, your body needs to be seen, to be tended to. As you hang there, breathe deeply. Let your spine lengthen. Let your ribs expand with each inhale like the bellows of an old accordion, drawing in oxygen, sending out stillness. Now slowly rise and give your legs a little love. Lift one at a time. Not in effort, but in release. Like you're gently shaking water off your feet. Let them bounce softly. Feel the twitchiness drain out, like fizz escaping a bottle. And if you notice that your hands or feet are cold, that's not just a comfort issue, it's a sleep issue. Science shows that when your extremities are cold, your core temperature struggles to drop, and that drop is what signals your brain that it's time for sleep. So here's a tip I use often. Rub your hands together like you're starting a little fire. Then cup them over your toes or wrap them around your feet. You'll be amazed at how quickly warmth returns. That warmth, it tells your brain, we're safe. We can rest now. And through it all, keep breathing. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 6. You're not forcing your body to sleep. You're inviting it to return to balance. And the truth is, your body wants to rest. It just needs a little help letting go of the day, the discomfort, the tension. When you move gently, you're sending a message that often goes unspoken. I care. I'm here. I'll help you soften. So the next time you find yourself tangled, in sheets, trapped in thoughts, and feeling like sleep is a million miles away, don't stay still in suffering. Rise, slowly. Stretch, softly. Breathe, intentionally. And remember, you don't need to fight for rest. You only need to make space for it. Even if you don't fall asleep right away, these small movements send ripples through your nervous system, whispering to your muscles, your breath, and your mind. The battle is over. We're home now, and in that quiet message, sometimes sleep returns, not because you chased it, but because you let it find you. It's 3:58 a.m., and your brain has decided it's time for a marathon. The moment your eyes open, thoughts rush in like uninvited guests. Did you lock the door? What time is that doctor's appointment? Why did you say that thing to your sister? 3 weeks ago? You're not dreaming anymore. You're sprinting, mentally. And every time you try to shush those thoughts, they just get louder. If this has happened to you, know this. You are not broken. You are just overstimulated. And your mind? It's doing what minds do best. Thinking. But thinking at 4 a.m. is different. It feels bigger, heavier, more emotional. It's as if the quiet of the world amplifies the noise inside you. And here's the truth. You can't always silence your thoughts with willpower. Trying to force your mind into stillness often makes it more restless. So what do? We don't fight noise with silence. We calm it with better sound. Sound, when used intentionally, can be one of the most powerful tools for restoring rest. It doesn't drown your thoughts. It redirects them, gently, compassionately. Let me show you 3 sound-based tools I return to often, especially on nights when my own mind refuses to sleep. Pink noise. You've probably heard of white noise, that static hum that sounds like a TV stuck between channels. But pink noise is its softer, wiser cousin. Think of the gentle patter of rain on the roof, the rustle of leaves in the wind, the rhythmic crash of waves along the shore. Pink noise tones down the harsh high frequencies of white noise and, offers a smoother, more balanced sound that mirrors the rhythms of deep sleep, and science backs it up. A 2017 study from Northwestern University found that pink noise not only improves sleep quality, but also enhances memory the next day. I keep a small speaker near my bed, or use a downloaded audio track. Nothing fancy, just enough to let the sound quietly coat the room. Let it blend with the dark. Let it carry you back to calm. Guided sleep meditation. If your mind needs more direction, something to focus on, a guided sleep meditation can be like a hand to hold. Find a voice that's gentle, steady, not overly dramatic. Someone who walks you through simple breath work or a body scan. Feel your toes relax, your calves, your hips. It's a bedtime story for grown-ups, but instead of dragons or princes, it tells the tale of your own breath, of your own quiet body. And when your brain is racing, having something neutral to focus on can be enough to derail the worry train. Just make sure you test the audio beforehand, so there are no jarring ads or loud intros in the middle of the night. Keep the volume low, barely audible. Let it become background music to your return to rest. Monotone audiobooks. Yes, this one might surprise you. But sometimes the best lullaby is a voice so boring it lulls your mind into surrender. No thrillers, no gripping mysteries, no booming narrators with plot twists. Instead, try a dry lecture about Victorian gardening, or a slow-paced memoir about birdwatching, or a geology podcast on sedimentary rock layers. Why? Because these monotone voices give your brain something just interesting enough to hold on to, but not enough to excite it. It's like giving a toddler a soft toy instead of sugar. And often, that's all your brain needs. A gentle distraction, a predictable rhythm, a reason to let go. I set a sleep timer, cue it up before bed, and keep the volume as low as a whisper. By the time the narrator reaches page 2, I'm already gone. So, the next time your mind starts its midnight marathon, don't reach for your phone. Don't scroll through social media or check the news. Instead, offer your brain a new path, a softer path, a path paved with gentle sound and quiet compassion, because your mind isn't your enemy. It's just doing its best to protect you, to prepare you, to process all the things you didn't have time to feel during the day. But at 4 a.m., that protection can feel like pressure. So meet it with stillness, with waves, with wind, with the low, quiet voice of someone reminding you that peace is still possible, even now. Sleep may not come immediately, but it will come more easily, because you've created the space for it to return. And in that space, something beautiful happens. You stop fighting the night, and you start healing in it. And now, here we are. We've walked together through the quiet hours of 3 to 5 a.m., not as a time of frustration, but as a doorway into awareness, into care, into healing. We've talked about how to stop forcing sleep and instead redirect it gently. We explored the power of smart hydration, how a single sip of warm water or a cup of chamomile can change the entire rhythm of your night. We looked at the emotional weight we often carry, how the soul whispers in the hours when the world finally quiets. We moved gently with our bodies, resetting tension through breath and small stretches. And finally, we softened the chaos of thought with the quiet wisdom of sound. These 5 steps are not tricks. They are not hacks. They are invitations to meet your night differently, to meet yourself differently. Because sometimes what wakes you at 3:17 a.m. isn't insomnia. It's your inner self knocking, softly asking, "Will you listen to me now?" And when you do, when you give yourself that space, not to fix, but to feel, not to control, but to companion your own experience, something changes. You may not fall asleep right away, but peace returns. And from peace, rest eventually follows. Here at Wise Elders Legacy, we believe these hours, the quiet, uncomfortable, sacred hours, can become some of the most meaningful in your life. Because they remind you of something essential. You are still learning, still growing, still becoming. Even now. So tell me, in the comments below, what part of this journey spoke to you most? Was it the breathing practice? The pink noise? The journaling moment at 4 a.m.? What is one gentle habit you'll Try next time the night wakes you. I'd truly love to hear from you, because your story matters here. And if this video helped bring you a little more calm, a little more clarity, I invite you to subscribe to Wise Elders Legacy. Tap the bell, so you'll never miss another gentle reminder that wisdom lives in all of us, especially in the quiet places. Until next time, may your nights be softer, may your breath be deeper, and may you always remember, you are not alone in the dark. You are deeply, beautifully alive in it. Sleep well, my friend. I'll see you again soon.